On this episode of How to Do What EgoBruise gets his fuel system worked on. Okay, we're gonna start running fuel to this little EcoBoost 2 3-liter. It's gonna be cool. Stay tuned. Yeah. Hello humans, how's it going today? It's a nice day outside today. Got back from Summit, took the old car out here. She's running good, man. I just had to put AC Freon in it because AC had leaked out. So put some Freon in the car real quick. Had Summit racing in the parking lot. Get the AC rumbling again. Nice and cold way home. Hit traffic, didn't have any problems. So this was actually pretty oily right here, and I'm wondering if it just slid out just a little bit and maybe Boost pushed it out. And if every once in a while it'll drip on the header, you know, and then cause a huge smoke screen. Otherwise, that's really the only thing wrong with her, man. She's running great. But hey, that's not why we're here. Fuel system, it's fuel system time. Hey, fuel system time. And my wife just pulled in. I'm blocking her driveway, but hey, her car looks good. It's dirty. It too needs some work. I got to put some Freon in it and also do an oil change and stuff like that. So, hey, so you got yourself a Foxbody Mustang, okay? It's carbureted. You need to switch it to EFI. This is sort of for you, okay? Maybe you got yourself a Coyote swapped early Fox that had a carburetor. This video is more for you, probably. Or maybe you're like me and you've got an EcoBoost motor swap in an early Foxbody that was carbureted. Well, this video is exactly for you, okay? That's pretty cool. Hey, but this does apply. This would apply to anybody really doing an EFI swap on their Mustang here that had a carbureted engine on it. This had, of course, a 2 3-liter old school carb motor. We put the 2 3-liter EcoBoost in it. Everything's a mess right now, but that's fine. We're going to concentrate on the fuel system. The last video, we got the Dakota digital gauges in. Guys, these are bad to the bone. Okay, Dakota digital gauges are in. I finished up the wiring to it. It's got the speed sensor hooked up to the transmission. Everything is ready for it to work once the car is ready. The electronics in the motor here, all the wiring harness stuff has been wired. Everything clicks on. Literally, the only thing this motor needs, besides coolant, is fuel, and it would start. So are we going to get there today? Probably not. In this video, probably not. But we're going to get the fuel system started, and we're going to talk about what you need to do to switch not only an early 4-eyed car, but also any Foxbody that is, you want to switch to EFI. But that's it. So first off, the gas tank is gone. I pulled that out a long time ago. This gas tank had of course, a sump on the bottom of it. Okay, no pump in the gas tank. Of course, it's the carbureted, so it just had a sump on the bottom of it. The tank had a line going out to it into the side of the motor. It had a pump on the side of the motor, of course, a diaphragm style sucker unit, and it sucked up fuel from the tank and pumped it into the old carburetor. Fuel injected, you need higher pressure. Now this little turbo 2.3-liter EcoBoost motor, just like the 3.5 and the 2.7s, this is a GDI system, so this is a direct injection into the combustion chamber, okay? This is not port injection. It's not plumbing fuel into your intake or the upper intake. This is direct injection. So this is a GDI system, which means it has 2 pumps. You'll have one in the tank, okay? That's feeding, somewhere between 40 to 60 PSI to the super high pressure pump here, okay? This thing like cranks it up to something like 10 million PSI or something like that, right? I don't know, it's like 1500 or something. It's a lot. It's high pressure, super high pressure. Fuel comes into here into low pressure, low being 40 to 60, and it gets cranked up, crap ton of pressure out to the GDI system for the fuel injectors directly into the cylinder chamber, okay? But that doesn't really change anything here. But we're also following the install manual for the Ford control pack that is running this engine. The engine management system is the Ford control pack from Ford Racing, and they have pretty particular instructions. One being that it needs to be a return type system, which is fine. You're probably familiar with that. Most cars you deal with are going to be electronic fuel injected, will be a return system. You've got a set amount of pressure going from the tank to probably a regulator somewhere around here, wherever you want to put it, okay? And then what is left over, so let's say your pump's squeezing out 100 PSI. You got 100 PSI coming out of the pump, it's smacking your regulator, 100 PSI, it regulates it, that's the whole point, to whatever pressure you tell it to your motor, and the rest of it, the remainder of that pressure gets sent back into the tank through a return line. Guys, it's no different than what we got going on here on the 86. Same thing here. Now what's interesting is actually, this is out of a 2015 Mustang. On a 2015 Mustang, it's actually a deadhead unit. We've got a system that comes out of the tank. It's a dedicated fuel pump within the tank itself that regulates the pressure. It's a really kind of a fancy fuel pump that sits inside the fuel tank that regulates the pressure exactly what it needs to the motor. You've got sensors on the motor, which is right here. This is a fuel pressure sensor, okay? It's been unplugged because I don't need it. This system won't use it, but this senses the pressure coming to the pump. If it needs more, it says, hey, fuel pump in tank, give me more pressure. If it needs less, it says, whoa there, calm down, less pressure, please. Okay, so this system's not using that. This is more of a traditional style system that we'll be installing for this EcoBoost motor per the Ford control pack instructions. So I don't have everything. I've got some things. Let me show you what I've purchased so far up to this point and we can start working on. Obviously, the biggest piece of puzzle here is the gas tank. I picked up this gas tank. It's used, believe it or not. Looks very good. I know it's in really good shape. So I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace. Actually, if you guys remember, this was on a video probably 2 years ago. It's been a while, but I found this on Facebook Marketplace in Austin, which is quite a ways from me, but my daughter lives in Austin and she was able to reach out to the guy and pick it up, which turns out it was really, actually got a really good deal on it because he ended up being a viewer of the channel. So that's pretty cool. But what makes this even cooler is not only is it in really good shape and basically brand new, it came with this hanger. This hanger is a AN fitting hanger. And yes, you can get this. So your standard Foxbody hanger, of course, is going to have your quick connect fittings. That would be standard on a Foxbody. This actually has baked in AN fittings. You have an AN8 fitting with the -8 for the outlets and a -6 for the inlets. So I already came with this. I was going to have to get this anyways because I'm running AN fittings for this custom setup. But yes, you could buy this. They make this. It's a standard Foxbody fuel pump hanger that comes with AN fittings. That's really cool. Now, it did not come with a fuel pump. We'll take a look at that in a second. However, this one, because it is, you know, obviously EFI'd and I'm putting a fuel pump in it, the car did not have a fuel pump, clearly. I went ahead and just purchased the proper pigtail for it. And I did this for, well, really just because it's important to have the fuel pump running. I don't want to, you know, rig something up here that wasn't going to stay locked in place. So these are cheap insurance. I went ahead and bought this for the fuel pump. We have the wire going to the back of the car already from the Ford control pack. So all we have to do is just ground this to the chassis, run the power to it, and the computer will control everything else turning this on. So that's pretty awesome. Same thing with the fuel sending unit. Now the fuel sending unit here is ready to go. This is for a later Foxbody Mustang. Earlier Mustangs and Fords were, I think, like a 73 to 20 ohm. This is going to be your standard, I think 220 to 10 or something like that. But this has already been ran and I bought the pigtail for it. So we'll check this out on the car in a second, but it is already in the car. It's already wired and it's already programmed in the Dakota digital dash for the proper ohm. And I've tested this. So you rotate this thing up, make it full, and down it shows empty. So we are good to go here. Now I did go ahead and install the fuel pump. This did not come with a fuel pump. I purchased an Air Motive Stealth. This is a very common pump for our Foxbodies. 11540. See, it says E85 there. This pump will work for E85. It flows a ton of fuel, way more than this little 4-cylinder will need. But if I ever put E85 in it or bump up the boost and turbo, I won't have to pick up a new pump. So the pump will be good to go. So it's installed just like you normally would on a Foxbody hanger in there. Hopefully you can see in there. There you go, maybe. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. Okay, so yeah, so it's been installed, and guys, it's good to go. It's gonna be more than enough. I love this one in my pump, in my 86. I had this same pump. It's quiet. Okay, it's got plenty of power. They're really reliable. They're not the cheapest pumps, but I went ahead and just got this because I wanted a good pump for the car. This thing is pretty important, especially with any kind of boosted application. You have reliable, good fuel delivery. So that's it. So the tank is ready to go. We've got our EFI style tank. We have our hanger with the -8 and -6 hanger fittings here, which is great. So that's our outlet. And this is our return from our fuel pump regulator. We got the sending unit ready to go from an 87 and up Foxbody, I believe, or maybe an 86 and up Foxbody. So it's in there, it's ready to go, it's calibrated, it's working with the Dakota Digital. So I know I don't have everything, but I've got, like I said, I just collect things. When I know I need it, I'll go out and get it, and I'll try to remember to, you know, store it in here, not forget it. This is my collection of all kinds of stuff. So we got extra Dakota Digital stuff in here. Extra, what is that, fuel? No, it's high pressure steering hose line. Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, a while back I went ahead and purchased a new seal. Okay, this is what goes back behind this. Seals the rubber, seals around your gas tank filler neck. Want to replace that because that one's dry rotted and cracked. I've got a new padding kit. Okay, that one's got some padding on it, but it was missing other padding on it. The padding kit just is what sticks on top of the gas tank. Keeps from rattling. It's kind of important because if you don't have this and you just put a metal tank against metal, bumps and stuff, not only is bad for the tank, you can scrape a hole in it, but you also hear it rattle. Okay, vibrations, the motor, tank, rattle, annoying. And little things like this. This is a seal that goes into the side of the gas tank. We'll put this on here in a little bit. See, so that's the seal that goes into the side of the gas tank. The filler neck tube is fine, but I do want to put new rubber anywhere that I can, and I think I'm missing one. Let me see here. Yeah, this is a seal. Okay, this is the vent tube seal. I haven't decided what to do for the vent. We'll probably just put the valve on it and call it a day. I don't know. This is 20 foot of Dash 6 black nylon braided hose, fuel rated. This is a 150 degree Dash 6 fitting. You'll see why I need that crazy bin in a second here. And I've got a, oh great, it's opened. That's nice. Yeah, that's real nice. Oh, well, okay. Sure. Okay, I didn't get everything for the fuel system because I don't know what I need yet. I need to run lines. I need to figure out where to put the regulator, and then we'll start figuring out what kind of lines I need. But the first thing I want to tackle is this. Is a 5/16 quick connect fuel fitting. Okay, this is what from the factory on the EcoBoost motor would have clicked in. They had plastic lines in here. They would have clicked in, they lock into place, and this is what fed the high pressure pump. And the first thing I have to do is figure out a way to turn this into an AN fitting so we can snake this over to the regulator. Now, this is a small motor. I'm going to run Dash 6 to it. Now, I know I have a Dash 8 coming out. That's fine. We'll run Dash 8 to the regulator and step it down to a Dash 6. From the regulator, it'll be Dash 6 coming out into the inlet of our GDI pump here, and then it'll return back to the tank with a full Dash 6 line as well. So I got to get some Dash 8 line. I don't have that yet, but I went ahead and bought that 20-foot Dash 6. Now this is an Earl's fitting. This is a 751156 ERL. This is a 5/16 quick connect to AN fitting line here. Now what's cool about this is instead of using those plastic hooks, so basically the way these things click in there, they'll slide in like this, they'll snap in, you'll hear it click, and then you'll have a plastic retainer that goes over there and locks it in place. But this actually screws into place and it should lock it, but I don't know if it's going to fit. We're about to find out together. So we're going to slip this on over the back like this, and then we're going to put this over like this. Oh, it's just tight, but it fits. Nice tight O-ring. Okay. So then when you screw this on, here we go. Bring you on in here, guys. Yeah, so that is pretty cool. So this takes place of the plastic clip. It just slips in over it, you hold it, and then this threads onto it. So of course it's not gonna rattle out. It can't now, but definitely a nice tight fit. I can definitely feel the O-rings in here. That works and I'm happy. So now you can see why I got that 150 degree bend, because it's shooting this way. But we got to get it over there. Summit brand, but this is perfect. All right, look at that. So that's perfect. That takes it right exactly where I want. That points it straight to where the regulator is going to go. Guys, I'm not happy. This thing has been used. Let me show you. See if you can zoom in there. There is marks. This thing has been stretched on. It has been used. This looks like the pipe fitting has been on, but you could definitely see marks around here where it's been used. I'm not happy with this. Not for what I paid for this thing. These things are expensive. So this was jammed to a box that looked like this. I did not do this or open it. You saw me open this up the first time. It's got grease marks on it, handprints all over it. And then everything was just kind of shoved into here. I don't know, man. I mean, there's oil in here. I think the gauge is leaking. So I'm kind of pissed. But you know what else it didn't come with? The mount. It doesn't have a mount. The mount screws in these little screws right here. I can't even mount this. So unfortunately, I'm dead in my tracks. Dead. I have to return this to Summit, which if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you ever been to Summit on the weekend, you just might as well block your whole day out. Might as well. Well, Summit racing was great. 0 questions asked. They were appalled by the way this thing was given to me in such a used condition. They really were appalled. So they had no problem replacing. Of course, this time I took the time to open it up, look at it, and make sure that it was actually new. Yep, 3 fittings, perfect. A gauge with proper packaging, not leaking, perfect, cool. And the super expensive. There's even stapled shut, but hey, it's got the bracket. That's what we need, is a bracket. Okay, it's not been used. This is perfect. Sweet, man. So we can continue on our build. Let's go see where I can put this line. These have O-rings in them. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there, guys. This is nothing. You don't need any dope on it. Thread sealant, pipe sealant, nothing like that. Right off the bat, I want to put it here. I don't want it to be in the way of the hinge. I want to be able to see it. But it's a weird area. Let me see here. So I think right about there is going to work. You can see that line coming into the regulator should go right down in that hole right there. We should be able to wall. Maybe it'll open it up a little bit. Then the line over to the right of it is going to go straight out here into this line, and the one on the bottom will go out down to the bottom hole for the return. Now you're probably asking yourself, why on this side? Why don't you put it on this side, man? Most of them are on this side anyways, and you got, you know, everything else on this side. Well, that's really why. I got more room over here. I got room on the regulator. I mean, on the Scott rod panel to put here. I could put it here, but I don't like it all close next to the downpipe. Okay, this way I'm separating it from the exhaust and downpipe completely, which is kind of cool. We're not gonna heat the fuel up. And I got a lot going on over here. We got a lot going on here with AC, the wires coming in and out of the, I just feel like it's just too much. You're all dry, I can't talk. Your eye is gonna be drawn over here to all the clutter and clatter and just spaghetti. And we're trying to avoid that spaghetti look. So I'm thinking over here makes sense because I've also got, you know, holes that aren't being used, okay? And the fuel line from the factory ran on this side, which is fine. We'll run it down the rail here. And it also keeps it away from the battery line. It separates that whole spark and fuel thing. I don't know. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just going to run it. I think it's a good spot. We may have to run some extra line though, because the fuel tank over there, the fuel pump is actually on the passenger side. If you can imagine that tank right there flopped like this, then the fuel pump is over here. So yeah, we got to run the lines across the top of the fuel tank, down the rails. Big deal. You're going to use a little bit more line. That's fine. That's what we'll do. Well, let's see, it's been about what? I don't know, 2 days later. That's about how long it took me to get this bracket on, you know? Not a big deal, just can't get to it at all. Had to squeeze through there. And then once you got the, you know, these on here, I found a nut back there. It was virtually impossible to get the little nuts in to put the regulator in because you can't put these in with the regulator. Anyways, it's just kind of a poor design. I wish they would have made this bracket a little taller so you can at least get to these nuts, you know, and take the whole bracket off without having to take the bottoms off, because most people are going to put this in a spot where it's going to be low, or up against something I can't see down there, and I can't fit my hand down there, and I'm not a contortionist, so it's okay though. Let's look at the fuel line. This is not your fancy PTFE line, anything like this. This is actually nylon braided, black braided hose. It's Summit Racing brand. It's a Dash 6. We're going to give it a shot. It is rated for fuel though. It is a fuel line rated for all types of fuel, ethanol free, but this is actually considered an E85 ready fuel. So apparently it's rubber, but it's got some sort of you know, coating on it or something like that, some sort of a different rubber compound that's not supposed to dissolve with gasoline. So make sure you guys, when you do get yourself fuel line, braided line, you get stuff that is for fuel. This is a fuel specific line. If you want to see the part number here, it is, let's see here, right there. Yep, that's Summit 240620B. That's Dash 6 20 foot 240 is going to be their black braided line. Anyways, I like this stuff. It's nice. Look at it. It's black. It's braided. It's going to match our look. So we're going to run the first line from the regulator to the inlet right into the side of our high pressure pump. The outlet. We've got a 90 degree for this. We're going to put the 90 degree right here. I'm going to put the 90 degree there. This is going to be for the fuel inlet. Always when you run this line, you make sure you account for the line that goes inside the fitting. In this case, it's going to be from about there to about right here. And I want to give a little room just to manage it. You know, we could tie it up and stuff like that. So I'm going to get a little bit longer than it should be. Yeah, that should be long enough. Nice clean line, other than our little tape here. All right, that's a crooked cut. That's not good. You want to straighten these things up. That's my fault. Let me straighten this up. You want this line as straight as possible. Otherwise, it won't fit in the fitting. And this is an important line. This thing's running fuel. Woo. Smoky. Okay. Get yourself your notch, scratch, and fitting tool here. This is a, this is dirty is what it is. Jesus. Anyways, these are magnetic. These go into a vise. And these are an AN installation tool. It's pretty cool. This is what we're going to do. We're going to stick this side on first. Gently clamp it down. I don't want to scratch these fittings, okay? That's why it's aluminum. But what I'm going to do is actually get a little oil here. Remove our tape. Okay. Okay. We are all the way butted up. This is what you want to do. You want to make sure you push this fitting all the way up, so whenever you peek inside the threads there, you should see the end of the hose. Now I'm going to reverse this. We're going to put this in here like this. Okay, a little bit of oil in the fitting. All right. Tighten the bottoms out. That was almost too easy. That's it though. Do we scratch it? Oh, just, not really. Okay, good. That's it. That is a solid fitting. Now we'll do the other side. Okay. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Man, check that out. That looks perfect. Look how good that looks. Now I can tie it up nice. Get rid of these labels. I got labels on everything right now, so I know what's what. But you know, this will tie up nice and neat to here, like that. Boom. Look at that. Well, it's been like a month, but we're back to it. This line looks good, and it's a good day to work because it's nice and cloudy out. Temperature is really nice and cool in the garage. It's 84 in the garage, so that's freaking awesome. So I want to get back to it. Life has gotten in the way yet again. I apologize. But we're going to focus our attention on the gas tank. Let's take a look underneath here. Obviously, this is a fuel injection tank, not a carbureted tank. The tank is slightly different. It's a little bit bigger. So if you come down here on a 79, the hangers are quite a bit different. So the hangers on my 86, for instance, they pivot on the back. There's actually a chunk of metal that drops this pivot point down to about right here. And then it bolts into place on this side. So on a 79, it's reversed. You've got your pivots or your hanger section back here, and then it bolts to the back here. Now the gas tank on a 79 is a little bit narrower and also a little bit shorter this way, okay? The fuel injection tank is going to work. Luckily, the floor dimensions, the floor shape is all the same. So that's good. So this will fit up, you know, your sump will fit up in this area here. You've got the indentation here for, you know, your electronics for the fuel pump, or for the fuel sending unit. And then your fuel pump stuff will go over there. Our lines will drape around the back. So that's not really a worry. The tank will fit. However, the straps won't work as you see here in this configuration because of, like I said, it drops down here and the hanger point switches. So the tank is a little bit different. Now let me go show you on my 86 for reference what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, now you can see what I mean here. So you've got this drop down section here, and you got your pivot point here, okay, on both sides, and then it bolts in from the opposite side. You've also got a full plastic cover on this tank, which I need to locate and get one for my other fuel injection tank, because this is a good protection and also looks nicer, you know, from the rear of the car. You don't see the shiny tank hanging out, but it really is a protection thing. On the 79, it's got plastic on it. Ooh. But it's only on the front. Now, guys, this goes back to the whole Pinto thing. You know, cars blowing up, Ford's getting blown up, getting rear-ended, but you see the plastic pieces just along the front. Ford did that to protect in a rear-end collision the gas tank getting pushed into the rear axle. That's where your sparks to happen and makes explosions go bang bang. So later on, they probably added a full tank cover, mostly for safety reasons. So I would like to get a tank cover for this tank that fits, you know, your fuel injection style tank. But like I said, dimension wise, we're good. Okay, this little indentation you see right here, see how it's kind of bubbled up? It matches the center of the spare tire indentation right there. So we're going to fit in up here fine, but these aren't going to work. So my plan right now, and has been my plan all along, I've thought about this, instead of retrofitting this whole section of the floor to match like a fuel injection, you know, gas tank like my 86, all I'm going to do is probably create a drop bracket. We'll create some sort of a steel tube drop here and drop these down to help sandwich it in place. So that's the plan. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't know what this, I don't remember what this went to. I really don't. Did it go, you know, like this? You know, I don't know. Maybe. America sockets. Let's see. Now this is it's not what's metric. America sockets. Nope. Nope. You're gonna be a 5/8? No. Yes? Maybe? Jeez. A little violent. Alright, alright. Alright. Plastic. I don't know what you're for, but you're gonna go. This one's riveted on. That's cute. Alright. Removal. Fucking A. Alright, well I got it. Get this dirty piece of crap out of here. Ugh. Yeah, it's close. That's fine. This, you can kind of see up there where the sump fits in that groove. And finally, when I got it in place, the straps are you know, they're not perfect. They're close. They're gonna have to be rebent. This side's the same way. So you got the right bend here, but not so much anywhere else. Let's take a look. So you got the right bend in the front, you know, but not really right there. All right, I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just tinkering, if you will. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Okay. And we got a bend right there. And I think I'm gonna have to bend the tank. It's like it needs to be notched right there. Man, I think this is gonna work. All right. And I can get it to fit pretty nicely here, I think. But we gotta make sure that, you know, the fuel lines are gonna work. Make sure the fuel lines are gonna work. Make sure the fuel inlet is in the right spot. Everything else looks pretty good. So, yeah, I like the spot right here where it's at is pretty good. It'll work. That's gonna have to be a 180, it looks like, too. This is a 90 degree. Oh, I can come down. Yeah, we do that. We can bring it down. There's room here, but look how this fits. It's not actually in the, I mean, I've got space there, and I've got space here, and it's hitting the frame. It's not actually going up all the way, but I think it'll be fine. But man, I don't really know. It can't come back. Well, yes, it can. I lied. But it definitely can't come up anymore because this is hitting right there, and this is, well, it's hitting right there in the center too. So, so what do we, guys? What do we do here? Do we actually alter this with a hammer? Does it need to go up any higher? That's the question. I don't think it needs to come up any higher. I definitely don't like metal to metal. Let's go look at the 86, compare it. Okay, ignore my seals are completely trashed, okay? Don't worry about that. This, well, honest to God, it's right up against it. It doesn't look a whole lot different. And we've got about that much of a gap. But look at that. I mean, it's right up against the back of it. I don't think this is really any different right here. I thought this would be more cut out, but it looks like the sump is just pushed up against the back of it. Ah, I missed. Ah, I missed. Ah, there we go. How about this? Nope. Okay, close. Hey, listen. I'm gonna put these on just to make sure that this isn't gonna hit anything. We're gonna go ahead and put the vent on. Oh gosh, come on, man. Seriously, I mean, really. But this is a nuke. For the love of God. Jeez, please. Okay, we have a vent seal. Okay, that is the vent tube seal, and I did buy, like I said, a vent tube for it. Let's back you up a little bit here, okay? A little close, huh? We may or may not attach this to some sort of vacuum source. I think right now we're not, but this, if it pressurizes, it's going to come out. It's going to come out here. Yep. I think let's put a little bit of oil here. Oh, for the love of Pete, Mike, come on, man. New seals are tight. There we go. Okay, new vent seal. And vent. All right, I found a picture from eBay of a stock OEM gas tank for sale. You can't see it, but let me show you the orientation that they've got it here. So at least according to this picture, this thing runs somewhere like that, and this one goes somewhere like that. It's like literally just bleh. See that? Now the tank's black, but you can see the pad right there. You can see the other pad right there. So this is actually coming around just across the top like this, and this one is over here like that. Yep, and it even overlaps. See how it overlaps right there? So, and this one's already in place, and like I said, I think I'm going to put this there. All right. I'll look for another picture or two, but hey, this will do it for me. Taking Calypso out to Tractor Supply down the street here. We're just going to get a few things. Like I'm thinking about getting a cage nut. Maybe I can get like a cage bolt. I think that's what they call them, cage bolt. Anyways, we can get a longer bolt, and hopefully we can use that as an extension on the gas tank mounts. And maybe like a cage style. I don't know what they call it. It's a carriage bolt. That's what I'm thinking of. A carriage bolt. If we get the right kind of carriage bolt with an extended length, it might just work, which would be cool to, you know, just to use something like that out of the box versus having to fabricate something. We'll figure it out. I'm just gonna go dig around here at Tractor Supply and see what I can find. Well, so much for being nice and cool outside. It sure warmed up quick. Hey, back from Tractor Supply. It turns out a carriage bolt, a 3/8 carriage bolt, fits perfectly in the slot up in here, right? I mean, that's perfect, see? So we can tighten it and loosen it. It'll hold itself in place. And I got all kinds of sizes here. You guys might be wondering, well, it's kind of a waste of money, Mike. Not really. I think I'm going to need multiple sizes because when I put the plastic on it, it's going to need, you know, a little bit more thread to compress, and I don't have the plastic cover for it yet. And guys, this is cheap. This all cost me, $3. All of this, so $3, including the washers from Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply I go to just because it's the closest place to me. But yeah, I think this is going to work, and this one is going to be perfect length, I think, but I think I'm going to start with these longer ones and let the threads hang out a little bit, because once I tighten them down, those straps will compress. Once the straps compress and form to the shape of the tank, we can go with a smaller size to reduce the thread kind of hanging out. And you know, once we get the size we want and everything in place, I'll probably just paint it black so you really won't see it. So yeah, let's go put this in place. Okay, starting a longer bolt here. Okay, and I've got a lock nut as well, but I'm going to avoid, not nut, I have a lock washer as well. I'm going to avoid the lock washer for now, just because I know I'm going to be removing this a few times and, you know, setting it back in place and everything else. So, okay, so this is just temporary on this side. Go over here. Can you see me now? I don't know if you can or not. I'm assuming you can. This side's going to be a little bit different because it's so off center. So we may have to go even longer here. Well, the gas tank's definitely held up in place. There's kind of a funky angle here. You know, it's kind of kicked over. It doesn't look pretty. Alright, so I didn't really like the offset on this. So you can see what I did there. I offset this strap. I thought to myself, you know I had a conversation with myself over here by the bench. I said, hey, I was about to re-engineer this whole thing just because it didn't sit flush down the center of the gas tank. And I was like, well, why don't I just offset the strap itself? So that's what I did. I put some super thick steel here to weld it in place, and I've moved everything over an inch so that it fits the gas tank down the center of the straps. That way, when I put the plastic cover on it, all this will fit just fine. So the strap itself has been offset. That was the easiest thing to do without re-engineering like the frame. Let me take it back here. All right. There you go. So I offset the strap over an inch by the hanger and offset it on the front by the hanger. So now we've got an offset, 1 inch offset strap that goes in the factory place. Now you can see I doubled up the nuts up here. The carriage bolts fit in place just fine, and they don't spin. They're the perfect size, but I went ahead and put a nut and a lock washer and washer on here just kind of for extra insurance, so that it can't slide out. You know, whatever reason, maybe if something hit the gas tank really hard this way, you know, the carriage bolts may slide and fall out of here, which obviously would drop the gas tank. So just kind of a peace of mind. I don't think that's whatever happened, but these are tight. So now these studs are super tight against the body of the car, and the gas tank therefore is now super tight. Now I'll clean these up, I'll paint them black. I'm not going to do that tonight. And I'll paint these bolts black, and I'll go with a shorter bolt too, but I want to get the plastic cover in place first so I see how everything fits. But guys, this looks like it's on. Hang on a second. It's just stuck. There we go. But guys, this is not going anywhere. This thing is rock solid, man. I mean, the whole car is going to move if you try to shift this thing. So I'd call that a success, man. You may not like that. I'm okay with it because, again, it's this or you re-engineer the bracketry and whatnot up here. You can't see that. Don't forget, I'm underneath the car. You're never going to see that. Even behind the car, you're not going to see that. Again, I'll paint it black. We'll get it short. It's fine, guys. It's fine. It's functional, okay? Okay? It fits. And let's take a look at it now. So from the side, okay, through the wheel well there. Let's go back over here. Let's go way back over here, huh? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yep, it's a Foxbody gas tank. So I call that a success. So I know it's getting long, so that's going to end it. That's into part 1. So next up will be part 2 of the fuel system, and we should complete it all in part 2 because we need to run the lines. We'll make the return line, the sending line, and I almost forgot we need a fuel filter, so we're going to take care of the fuel filter as well. So we'll run the lines, we'll run power to the pump, and yeah, we got to make the lines, power to the pump, fuel filter, and that's about it. I think we can put gas in it, and it should pop off, it should fire up. Now I'm not gonna run it long because you need coolant. All the coolant lines are complete and I don't wanna run it. The turbo is cooled from coolant, so I can trash the turbo pretty quick without coolant, but we can at least hear it pop off, make sure that we're getting gassed, and make sure we're getting fuel pressure, make sure the engine actually runs. It's gonna be exciting. That should be coming up really soon. I'm gonna continue working on my car now for part 2. You guys need to go out and do the same thing. Get in your garage, it's hot, I know, I get it, especially in the south, but hey, water brakes, fans, you know, keep working on them though, man. There's no rush, okay? There's no rush to get these things done. Clearly there's no rush for me, as you can see, as you know. But, you know, I'm doing it as best as I can. I still love doing it and enjoy doing it when I do have time to do it. And I do know that it is moving along, and at least there's a little bit of progress. As we're going this way, if up is the end and down is the beginning, we're going this way. It's just real slow. And that means we will be done with it before you know it, and it will be driving. It's gonna be so cool. I cannot wait to finish this car. But hey, keep working on your Foxes, guys. Get them out. Get them out. They don't have to be perfect. Just get them running, right? Fix them, okay? That's gonna do it though. Hey, follow me on Instagram if you want to, okay? Instagram's got my feed, or better yet, go to howstodoit.com, because howstodoit.com has my Instagram feed on it. It's got my Facebook page on it, and it's got a place where you can buy some swag. I got a really cool shirt, some leftover shirts from Fox Fest last year, black with the 86 4-eyed silhouette on the front. and the Texas license plate, the House Duo logo kind of stuff on the back, which is pretty cool. I got some leftover. I will ship you one from the house. They're here in stock. They're not third party, and it's great quality cotton. It's a nice shirt. So go there if you want some swag. And there's a technical section I just put out there fairly recently that's got everything I'm doing on here. I'm documenting diagrams I'm making as I go along, and I'm putting them out there. So things like the AC system, how it's routed, stuff like that is all out there. So I'm doing a lot of documentation with this build so that when it's done, I'll have all that stuff, kind of like an owner's manual. So that's all out there. That's pretty cool. And that'll do it, okay? We're ending it, okay? We'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for part 2 of the fuel system. Take care.